Why should I even? Why should I even go forward in life? Even write something down? Fight the good fight? Should I not play the game of defeat where I must lose? I drifting I lost, I drip myself in sorrow and in lust, and in seething pleasure play the game of defeat where I must lose. But I will live and I will go on, and the night bird shall not sing my note, but the morning bird shall sing each dawn. All of heaven sits in our impulse to go forward, and all of hell waits in our impulse to stop. Which move will I make? On another note, last night in sleep I heard a man running, the sudden outbreak of the sound of his feet towards me. It was an angel. Then I saw him in my inner mind, this time, walking more calmly towards me, with a seriousness denoting duty and care. 2 white robes covered him. The first was more like an overcoat over his chest, and the second covering his waist up to just below his knees, which I thought was strange, wrapped somewhat tight. He was a healing angel. And in this image he bent down over a large gash, an injury, and on the sides of the injury several spikes, like hair or thorns, all around the gash in the skin. What caused the injury? I asked the angel in my mind. You did with your thoughts, he answered. I suppose my own thoughts about myself caused the injury to my inner self. On another note, there is something in the Bible or theology that has to do with the notion of the body being full, or the body will be full, as in the scripture in the book of Matthew, where Jesus says, "The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single or sound, thy whole body shall be full of light." So the emphasis here is that there is a body, and this body will be full of something. This is not the physical body, but an inner body as it were, a place or room where our image of self is. In the spirit world this takes the shape of a body. This body has a vulnerability, a bound condition. It is bound to change to the full, to its fullness of its sense of self, in a binary sense, an all of nothing, is or is not. It is either full or it is full of something else, and it is secondly bound and subjected to something called the eye or the lamp. We know from that scripture that this body needs light, and the light of this body is something called the eye. Now this light is not strictly the light of truth in the broad definition. We know what this light is, the verse says it explicitly, the light is the eye. And let us be careful here, this eye is not some occultic eye in the center of our forehead, it is nothing of that. The simplest way I think is to understand this eye as focus. But now on top of this elementary understanding let us also conceive this lens of focus as awareness of self. It is a receiver, vulnerable to input from others including input from our mind and its 1,000 thoughts. This lens of awareness and focus, which we all have, asks the same question every minute of every day, am I or am I not, am I this, yes I am. Now this lens of focus has a particular power. It can take in the input of who we believe we are, our aroma of self, our masculinity or femininity, our stature, the grandeur of a king, or the inferiority of defeat, and instantly make it so. It is a transducer and transmuter. It fills up the body of the self instantly to its full, each time, and this may change instantly as well, and constantly, to whatever fabricated self or true self we are, and will become.